Hi and good morning, everyone. Welcome again to the closing event of the WaPOR Hackathon. So we're very excited to have everyone here with us, and we had two exciting weeks, and we want everyone to share what we have with you. And the shortlisted teams for phase two had a really long week, and they submitted amazing pitches for us that we'll be seeing shortly. Um, but to start, maybe we want to thank everyone again for being with us and for joining the hackathon. And uh, so we will go briefly over the 2 weeks and the events that happened, and then we'll go after that to watch the pitches. The jury members are currently deliberating in a closed session to announce the final winning team of the hackathon. So we're looking forward to that, but we'll leave it a little bit suspense for you to until we announce the final winners. So a brief overview. So we started with the hackathon. The main theme was WaPOR for monitoring and evaluation of the global challenges. We had four main sub-themes under that. We had environmental challenges, tools to validate WaPOR data, WaPOR and SDG monitoring, and social inclusion, gender, and diversity. So these were the four main sub-themes that we were working under, and the teams decided to pick one theme, and some of them maybe went a little bit out around to present their ideas that they already have. We started the hackathon on November 30th with the opening session, where we had very inspiring speakers. We had Lisa Rabello from Digital Earth Africa and Natalia from eLeaf now, but she was also the winner of the Water Pip hackathon that took place in 2020. And I think they gave you some nice words that inspired you to move forward and continue through this year's hackathon, WaPOR hackathon. We also had welcome words from Dr. Marlous Moul from IHE and from Lisa Pizer from FAO. And so this opening event took place on November 30th, and then we organized the teams, and all the participants had the chance to meet and organize themselves in teams. On December 8th, last week, we had the closing of week one, and we selected a couple of teams to move forward with us to the next phase. During all this time, the teams were meeting with experts and with the coaches to discuss their ideas, get feedback on what they are doing, and just a little bit of guidance on what is expected and how to move forward. And here we are today at the final event, and we're also very excited to see that we still have a lot of people with us, and the teams were working hard to reach this stage. So during phase one, we had around 268 registered participants from 58 different countries, and these were grouped into 30 teams. 13 teams managed to submit a pitch for phase one, and the jury selected 6 teams to move forward with us for phase two. And these were 49 participants from 14 different countries. So here we also see the distribution. So in red is the total number of participants that were with us from the different countries in the initial phase, and the green are the participants that made it for the next phase, and they were working together. It's also nice to say that we have 30% of our registered participants were females. The average, the main age group was between 25 and 45. Most of the participants are from Africa and Middle East, where mainly currently the WaPOR project is covering. So we have many of the participants from Ethiopia, Kenya, Jordan, Iraq, Sudan, Nigeria, and Rwanda. But it's also nice to see the expansion of the participants that were interested in working on this project and showcasing their ideas to move forward in this WaPOR project and the hackathon. We also had the participants had very diverse backgrounds. So we had around 27% of the registered participants were students. 26 were also from academic institutes. Around 20% were from governmental organizations, and the others were distributed from private sector, NGOs, or international organizations. Also, the background of the participants was very diverse. So we had people with agricultural background, irrigation, water management, land management, remote sensing, environmental sciences, developers and IT experts that were also with us, and other areas of expertise that were diverse between the group of the participants that we were here. So now we're in the final event, and as you mentioned, we had like 6 teams that made it for the last event, and we're in a bit we will be watching the pitches. Unfortunately, one of the teams that were selected for the finals couldn't submit a final pitch, so we have 5 pitches to show today, and the winning team will have the chance to have their idea supported by the WaPOR project for further development and to produce a prototype out of it and showcase their idea and how it can be actually beneficial and working. So as we mentioned, so this is the first hackathon that we're doing under the WaPOR project, and we have 2 more hackathons that will be coming up in the next 2 years. So stay tuned and stay connected, and maybe try to already start thinking of your ideas for the next phase. We'll be also posting and sharing more about it in the coming 2 years. So different teams, approaches of how we can use the WaPOR data. So thank you again, everyone, for being with us. I think we will not keep you waiting so long anymore. And it's time to see the pitches. And after that, we will welcome the jury members to join us and announce the final winner. We will invite a team representative from the winning team to join us. You received a different link yesterday. So if you are one of the winning team, we will ask you to join our session, and maybe if you want to say a couple of words. So we're not waiting longer, and let's watch the pitches. Good luck for everyone.
You cannot clap with one hand, as an old Bengali proverb goes. This project is the search for the second hand, needed to find the balance, needed to make some noise. In this presentation, we explore the challenges around community involvement in WaPOR. Socializing the pixel, pixelizing the social, diversify the remote sensing products, pluralize WaPOR. There seems to be things happening on the ground that we don't see in our remote sensing products. This seemed to focus on the concepts of integrating farmers' reality with remotely sensed reality. The left image represents a mental model of a farmer. A farm is a complex system with many interactions and interrelations. The farm is a living ecosystem that grows based on the shared memory of farmers, the strategies and wisdoms, trials and failures, the indigenous knowledge and practices, all crucial elements for survival and resilience. On the right is a simplified image of the world of WaPOR and GeoICT. This world talks about pixels, JSON and APIs. It uses expert languages and programmers' languages to talk about farms. This creates a communication barrier between ground reality and technology. Our aim is to enhance the communication between the two perspectives. We create a circular information flow between WaPOR database and farming communities, extending on an existing mobile app TechnoFarm and building upon ongoing projects WaPOR Phase 2 and water efficiency and conservation. This is our pilot location, a 50-acre farmland located in Mafraq in the highlands of Jordan. Main challenges are water scarcity and vulnerability to climate stress. MOA, WaPOR and IUCN programs are in place for the diversification of agriculture and water supply and for a more efficient and rational use of water. What do we exactly mean by addressing the gaps and enhancing the communication with the farmers? This is a typical screen from WaPOR, a conventional way of showing information of the area of interest. This map shows total biomass production annual. A time series of these results for different years can also be generated. How does this relate to local farmers? What does these results mean to local farmers? First, let's adjust our language a little. Total biomass production annual is of course just an expert proxy for the more familiar term productivity. And the time series plots is of course the story of the history in production. There were good years, 2020, remember? But there were also bad years, and don't count on all years to be good. Let's try to replay history in a time lapse to see what the variability in productivity was. Oh, mark my language again. With variability in productivity, we of course mean the risk of crop failure, the risk for the farmer. This shows WaPOR is a valuable expert decision support system, but it also shows the need to translate WaPOR results in farmers' practices. We therefore need to breach the communication barrier with the farmers. With the aim to create a circular loop of communication between farmers and WaPOR, we use an existing platform of WaPOR Phase 2, currently ongoing in our project location. And we extend an existing app named TechnoFarm, currently used to connect farmers to the latest irrigation technologies. On one side of the interface lies the comprehensive WaPOR database, while on the other side expands the intricate details of the farmer's mental model. The buffer between WaPOR and the farmers will be formed by the extension services of MOA, NARC researchers and lead farmers. Utilizing the intermediate, we create a dependent system that invites farmers to share their farm information and planning for the upcoming crop season. This will help us to create a database of local practices, local knowledge and local trials. Once we have established the communication between the farmers, we can then incorporate ground data with the WaPOR expert knowledge. We generate options for choice crops, aiming to minimize water use and maximize production. Finally, this information is shared back with the community through the intermediate level of stakeholders, assisting the farmers in proactive decision making. We envision to reap the best of both worlds, linking indigenous knowledge to technology and connecting science to community. Let's celebrate diversity of knowledge. Let's clap to make some noise.
Africa, with their 13 million hectares of irrigated agricultural area, are still struggling to solve their food crisis, which is affecting more than 300 million people there. Regarding to the water scarcity on that region, soil moisture state is a key factor for most agricultural practice to achieve high crop production. For example, irrigation scheduling, cropping calendar setup, and fertilizer application. In fact, measuring soil moisture by sensor can only capture small area and time-consuming, while using remote sensing requires certain technical knowledge. Therefore, we present Aquamos, the web GIS that enable users to retrieve and process daily soil moisture data at their intended region and time. We bring 4 innovative added values in Aquamos, including modeling the essential soil and water parameters, open source to allow users from all backgrounds utilize our data, support food security in Africa and even worldwide, and the most important, temporal resolution in daily update. This WebGIS combines the daily data from WaPOR with other open source data corrected with observed measurement from the fields to develop the standardized soil moisture data. Using API, we collect the daily precipitation and decadal evapotranspirations provided from WaPOR for certain area. Those WaPOR data are integrated with other open source data, namely soil moisture at permanent melting point and at saturated condition as the lowest and highest soil moisture content respectively. For each area, we start our day 0 at certain day after a long no rain consecutive events, meaning that soil has achieved permanent melting point. We then add the daily effective precipitation to soil water content at permanent melting point, then subtract with actual evapotranspiration. Continuously, we do the similar computation for the next days to obtain the day-to-day soil moisture content between the range of permanent melting point and saturated condition. Observe measure data from fields at selected location, in this case, are used to calibrate the results. The operation for those calculations are simply done in QGIS, and by using QGIS to web plugin, we transform the output layer into user-friendly interface. Users are able to acquire an exact value of soil moisture content at percentage unit on their locations from the WebGIS. To access Aquamos, users can easily type the website address of Aquamos through their browser in laptop or smartphone. The default layout of this WebGIS is the Africa, and they can type the targeted location. By pressing enter, users can go directly to their area. Each highlighted location and by one click will automatically show the percentage of soil moisture content. Aquamos also provide the value of permanent wilting point, field capacity, and saturated water content to help them determine the volume of water for irrigation and soil cultivation. Therefore, irrigation engineers and farm managers can freely access Aquamos everywhere with less effort on data processing, bringing the higher crop yield into reality. All the computed data are hosted in a website. Frequent updates and maintenance will be conducted by our professional team to ensure the reliable data are always received by users. Since we get the data from open source, then we provide our result freely for all to achieve what we call as democratizing the data. However, we definitely need the operational cost which will be generated by synergic collaboration with potential partners, for instance, FAO, CGIAR, and other institutes. We will also work together with those partners to disseminate Aquamos, specifically in training and promotion program. We are not completely done by only providing the soil moisture. We also provide the soil moisture prediction, water encoding, and EI. Bringing more and more utilities in Aquamos with free access to the users will help them improve their farms and crop yield. Indeed, we realize that established open source soil moisture data is necessary for us as important as producing the sufficient food for Africa. Aquamos is a must for your farm.
Our aim in this project was to validate WaPOR data with ground truth data and to reduce the gap between them. For this purpose, first we selected the study sites which located in two different areas around Erbil, and the first area was irrigated farms under center pivot irrigation system. And the second area were 10 farms irrigated by sprinklers. Field visit to the selected farm were conducted and taking the yield data from the farmers. The data from WaPOR portal was used to estimate the seasonal biomass of two seasons 2019 to 2020 and 2020 to 2021. During the field visit, the geographical coordinate of the fields were recorded in order to build the shapefile and farm boundaries. We compared the WaPOR data with the field data in order to find the correlation between them. Then we found that there are significant differences between them. After that, we found the linear formula that will reduce these gaps effectively, because after applying the linear formula we can notice that the corrected WaPOR data became more closer to the real field data.
Hello, Team 16 submitting the final pitch. In our country, agriculture is the largest contributor to the national income and also the largest water consumer. Therefore, Sudan is required to produce the largest amount of crops. Many problems regarding agricultural practices are decreasing the crops' yield. Examples of these practices are irrigation and fertilization practices. Also, there is a shortage in the chemical fertilizers in all parts of the country, and they are expensive as well. By giving the farmers the right advice and guidance through the farming process, the yield and water productivity are most likely to increase. By solving the irrigation problem, more water will be available for irrigating more areas, and over-irrigation problems such as salinity and waterlogging will be avoided, and the same for fertilization, as more chemical fertilizers will be available for more lands. And in addition to that, The cost of fertilization will be lower for the farmer, and over-fertilization problems such as waterlogging, global warming, and also the possibility of water pollution will be avoided. Here to solve the problem is to make an app. The app flowchart is as follows. Data is collected either by site visits or by obtaining it from data centers. Calibration and validation of the WaPOR data will be done through field visits and calibrating it with other open source remote sensing data. Data processing will be discussed in the backend section. SMS servers will be provided to ensure message distribution. Finally, the farmer will get messages containing general advices about farming practices and specific advice regarding his field. The app mockup. At the information center, the user will see a map representing the field conditions with different colors, exactly as he sees them in the WaPOR portal. Endangered areas will appear with different colors with alert marks and can be recognized easily. Clicking on an alert mark gives more details about the area. 2 buttons will be provided. The first button is the alerts for showing all the endangered areas with their details. The second is the layer button for changing the map that is conveyed underneath.
Backend data processing. First, downloading the required data using APIs. Downloading the WaPOR data using WaPOR open source Python scripts. The downloaded data will be land cover classification, actual evapotranspiration and interception, and net primary production. Downloading open source Sentinel data from Google Earth Engine to be used in producing nitrogen filtration layer and land cover classification layer if necessary. Preparing the data. First, the nitrogen filtration layer need to be prepared. In the first stage of the vegetation process, the layer will be prepared with the following equation. At mid to late stages, the layer will be calculated as following. Note that all the calculations will be done by Python scripting by the NumPy package. Second, an additional land cover classification layer will be made using Sentinel data. All layers will be resampled to 10-meter resolution to get accurate masking when using shapefiles. The crop type will be checked using the 2 land classification layers. NPP, ETI, and NF layers will be compared with the normal condition using the NumPy package. Based on the results from analyzing the data, the script form raster maps and send messages and alerts to the users.
Business plan. The objective: developing an application that will assist farmers in enhancing yield through administrating nitrogen in proper quantity at the proper time using the proper method, and improving the water use efficiency. The targeted market: farmers, the agricultural services companies, the agriculture holding companies, banks, and insurance companies. The benefits to clients: increasing yield, saving time and money, reducing errors, and maximizing resources. The financial support: the app will be supported financially through selling the data to banks and insurance companies, advertising companies, and agriculture holding companies.
Phases of the application. Phase 1, data collection. Phase 2, building the application. Phase 3, deliver advice to the farmers.
The future of the app. The app will be taking full control of the farm, and it will be containing suggestions for a variety of topics, not only water and nitrogen. The app will be private, and updates and maintenance will be the responsibility of the team.
The application is unique since it offers 3 benefits to various parties. For the farmer, the application offers suggestions on the best agricultural methods to guarantee the most production. Also, it will handle the conflict between the farmers and insurance companies and protect the farmers' rights. For the companies with some involvement in the agricultural process, will have access to watch and ensure that the procedures are well followed.
Thank you for listening.
Hello, we are Team 26 and this is our final pitch for the 2022 WaPOR Data Hackathon. Our idea is a decision support tool for water and land productivity management in the form of a QGIS plugin. In the face of increasing food production demand and climate change effects, water and land productivity is an essential measure for secure food safety and to face environmental challenges. WaPOR Data has become an important platform to help facing these challenges, but access to the data at practical, user-friendly and accessible manner is still in progress. There is already an existing plugin to access WaPOR data and calculate indicators available, but it doesn't take into account the different crop growth stages to present the data. The data in the rest is represented in a mean value for the whole crop area, regardless of the different growth stages. Also, the indicators are calculated and presented as mean value for the time period stipulated by the user input. There are some scripts available for calculating the indicators and to present the resters in WaPOR data, taking into account the different crop growth stages and the different time periods, but it requires knowledge of programming for the user to access the tools. With that in mind, we came up with the idea of developing IDS plugin. IDS plugin is a user-friendly interactive decision support tool that simplifies downloading and calculating WaPOR data and advises on improved irrigation water management. At first, the user needs to sign in using his API token from his WaPOR account. To download the WaPOR layer selected, the users upload shapefiles of the area of interest. He can provide the total area or different shapefiles for the head, middle, and tail of the irrigation scheme. If the users provide the total area, the plugin calculates the flow directions and divides the area in 3 equal parts considering the slope of the main drainage channel. The resters of the selected WaPOR layers can be downloaded and loaded in the canvas and then saved to the local server. The users can set the cropping period up to 3 years of the same season if trend is to be observed. The user specifies the type of irrigation system from the drop-down menu. Then he can select the crops planted in the previous year from the database in the IDS plugin. Percentages of areas covered by each crop, duration of growth stages, irrigation intervals, and number of irrigation per growth stage will be entered. If available, quantity and quality of water monthly abstracted for irrigation will be entered. Potential crop water requirements will be calculated for each crop from the crop data in WaPOR RAT. The irrigation indicators equity, adequacy, and beneficial fraction will be calculated for each crop growth stage and the entire growing season. Cases and actual evapotranspiration are calculated for each block and for the total area to access equity water distribution. NPP will be calculated for each stage, while GBWP and NBWP will be calculated for the season. The results of the calculations are displayed in a tabular form and can be saved as a CSV file. Soils data can be entered from keyboard if available, downloaded from Country Soil Grid or FAO Soil Grid in relevant parameters selected. Soil data is expected to be available for the known area of interest. Crop currently planted will be selected from crop database and area proportions and planting harvesting dates entered from keyboard. Trend of RET, if downloaded for more than 1 year, will be assessed and adjustment will be made if there is a trend, otherwise the RET of the previous year will be adopted. Crop water requirements will be calculated and irrigation scheduling determined, and grow biomass water productivity calculated. Irrigation interval as decision variable, irrigation application depths, and growth biomass water productivity will be simulated until there is no more change observed in the productivity of each crop. The irrigation intervals which results better productivity will be compared with the irrigation intervals adopted in the past. The results will be shown in a tabular form. Based on soil salinity and fertility status, measures will be suggested. Our target users will be irrigation managers, experts, and extension staffs that will use the QGIS plugin to improve the water and crop productivity. The next step for the IDS plugin will be to finish the interface design and workflow, expected to be done within 2 weeks. The final code repository in the developed QGIS plugin is expected to be finished in 4 months. Then, in the next 6 months, the plan is to test the plugin at different locations and receive feedbacks. After 1 year, we expect the plugin to be tested and will make the final improvements and create awareness. After 3 years, we expect the plugin to be applicable and accessible, and tailor-made solutions can be commercialized. The direct users will provide the sustainability of the plugin by receiving payment from farmers for the services and by requesting tailor-made solutions. Also, funding from organizations can be possible. Thank you very much.
So, hi again, everyone. I think we had great pitches. I hope everyone enjoyed them as much as we did. So we have with us the jury members now, and I think they are ready to tell us what they decided and give maybe a little bit of feedback to the teams. So jury members, thank you again for being with us. And we're looking forward to hear your decision.
Thank you, Amani. I will take over from here on behalf of the jury members. First of all, congratulations to all the teams. You made our job really, really hard. And we thought that all of you have done exceptional work, and all the products that you offered and showed and showcased actually in front of us would make a wonderful product and very useful with high impact. Nevertheless, we had to pick a winner. But what we decided in the meantime is that we would like to give a short feedback to everybody, because there was something positive in all the work that you have done. So I will start a little bit backwards with really no commitment to the order of the 4 out of the 5 teams, but with very brief feedback. So Team 15, we really appreciated your effort to go in the field, collect the data, and really improve the accuracy of WaPOR. We thought that this was it is a very useful and great idea for the entire community. What we were missing was a little bit of the business direction and what you're going to do with that after. So congratulations on the big effort. Indeed, it would make a difference. So we would recommend that in the future you also take it a step further and see what how other uses of what you proposed would be. Another team that I would like to highlight again, Group 13, with the soil moisture product. Excellent idea. There are so many companies and great players in the field who are actually attempting to do what you wanted to do. So very high risk, but of course, if successful, very high gain. So we encourage you to continue working on that and improving your methods. As we know, the WaPOR group will be improving and adding soil moisture to their data set. So I'm very sure that your work will be useful again in the future and will be referred to in the future as well. Now the difficult part came to Team 26. We really loved your business direction. I think that was very successful. Please work, if we are to give you a recommendation, that would be at the moment looked extremely data heavy. But keep up the business spirit and keep up with the great ideas. We think that you will be very successful as well. Group 2, amazing idea. We were missing the last step, the last final step. We think that it's great. We kind of couldn't really agree upon how the product will be used on a larger scale. We thought perhaps if you actually integrate the feedback, so going to the farmer, but also getting the information from the farmer back to WaPOR, that would be extremely beneficial also to the entire community. So by saying all of this, the winner is clear. So winner would be Group 16. We thought that your idea is great. The impact that you will make is also really great. We could not agree fully on your business direction, but what we thought is that the work that you intend to do will have really huge added value to the community. We would like to highlight that we would love to see the data layer of the nitrogen indices made open via WaPOR, and then the business and how you're going to commercialize it, that you can, of course, keep the IP to you. But we think that one will make a very big impact. And if with that, I think, congratulations, Team 16. If any of the other members of the jury would like to say something, please feel free. But huge congratulations and good luck. I'm really looking forward to the final product.
Thank you very much, Mila, and congratulations, Team 16. I think we have one of the representatives from Team 16 with us. I'm going to ask you if you would like to use the StreamYard link that we shared to join the StreamYard if you want to say a word. So we'll give you a couple of minutes if you can do that. But congratulations, Team 16, and all the teams, as Mila mentioned, and as the jury decided, you all did great work, and I think the efforts shows with the pitches. We had like a really good pitches with us, so thank you everyone also for putting the effort into that. I think as we mentioned, we still have good work to go, and we will have also 2 more hackathons planned for later. So we also encourage you to maybe work on your ideas a little bit further and develop further for the future. And so Team 16, you will be getting the support from the WaPOR project to develop your idea even more, and use the impact, the feedback that you got from the jury to move your idea forward. So I'm not sure if anyone from Team 16 joined the StreamYard with us, but yes, so we have so we have Muhammad Salah, the representative of Team 16. So congratulations, and great work, as the jury mentioned. And we're looking forward to working with you for developing your idea further. So if you want to say a few words, the floor is yours.
Okay, can you hear me? Is my voice clear?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It was a teamwork. We put a lot of effort, and we had a lot of good advices from the experts and good support from the team. So thank you all, and good luck for the other participants. They had really good ideas.
Yes, thank you very much. And yeah, indeed, it was a team effort for you and for all the other teams that were working. So congratulations to all, and we're looking forward to see you working with you further on that. And for the other teams, we also encourage you. You all have great ideas, so maybe you can also have the chance to work and develop it a little bit further. So good luck, and we thank our jury members again for being with us and for taking the time and taking having the time to deliberate and announce the final winner. So thank you, everyone. And by here we come to the end of the hackathon, and we're going to close the session. So congratulations again, and good luck to everyone, and stay connected to our social media channels to learn more about what's happening with the progress of the work with Team 16. So thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a good day. And thank you, jury members, as well, for being with us.